II team was that they played well, they were a good group of women, and they were all very different. Sherry Dow had just transferred in from Penn State, and Maren Gingler was here from New York, Karen Dudley from Massachusetts, and we had Ann Shoemaker from the teams before, as well as Christopher Mass. Now, Christopher Mass was a little different in that she lived in Suffolk. I had known her most of her life, and she gave me a lot of the gray hairs that I have now, about midway of the team and down. But this team was strong from top to bottom. The regular schedule for that team was very difficult, and we played all of the ACC teams. We defeated Maryland, we defeated Wake, and Notre Dame was in that Division II national championship. That record of 17-3 is very misleading because you think that they played only Division II teams, young teams around the area, but they played the 4 East. They won. They were second in the Eastern tournament. They won the Salisbury tournament, which was a large tournament over in Salisbury, Maryland. And as I said earlier, they won the state team, which included all of the state universities. And it was a lot stronger than it looked on paper. In fact, I can't remember who the 3 teams we lost to. Women's athletics at William & Mary have always been strong. During that period of AIW, the only team that was a Division I team was the hockey team. All the other sports were Division II. And it really meant that we had to change the thinking of athletics for women, because if you didn't recruit, you didn't give scholarship, there was no way that you could keep up with all of the other division teams. So that changed really the face of women's athletics. And that team had the most depth of any team we had had for some time, and also that's the highest finish nationally that any team, any women's team, has finished before or after.
So first we'd like to, my teammates and I would like to thank everyone that nominated and selected us for this great honor. You know, it's certainly not anything that you ever think about when you're playing. We probably didn't even know there was a Hall of Fame, but we're very honored to be selected for the Hall of Fame, and this really connects us with the great athletes and the great teams that have been a part of the William & Mary athletic tradition for so many years. And we'd also like to thank our family members and our friends who came tonight to celebrate with us. And we'd also like to congratulate the other inductees that will be coming up after us for the honor that they're receiving this evening as well. And I also think that all of us in this room should thank the college and the Crowne Plaza staff for putting on such a nice evening for us, because certainly this is something that we'll remember for a long, long time. So we want to make those thank yous. And as my husband should have made me bring my glasses because I can't see my notes up here. I'm kind of winging it now, but you know, after I was, my teammates selected me to be the spokesperson, I realized this is a really big responsibility because I wasn't just speaking for myself. You know, I had to speak for everyone else up here, and I was like, oh, you know, this is going to be a little tough. I needed something to help me out. And I dug around for a little bit in one of my closets, and I found my tribe towel, which became part of my uniform, so we'll cover up temporarily the Crowne Plaza logo there. So this took me through many a match that season as some seasons before, and so hopefully it'll help me get through this talk and keep you entertained for a few minutes until it's someone else's turn up here, but I'm not planning to go on that long. But I did want to say a few things that you know, the word tennis team is kind of a contradictory statement, because you've heard that the cliche that there's no I in team, but there can be a whole lot of I in tennis. And so one of the challenges is how do you get a bunch of 17 to 22-year-olds who are used to playing junior tennis, where you're kind of doing things on your own, to gel together as a team. So, we managed to do it. First of all, it was some of these bonding experiences. You ride in the van for 8 hours and you kind of get to know people. You stay in some marginal motel, afford a room, and you get there. And then we had some other things. Marion reminded me tonight, we used to play Weeble tennis, where you'd kind of sit on the court and try to, without being able to run, to rally. We try to shoot balls up on the roof of Adair Gym. I apologize if we ruined the roofing material up there, but that would have been us. We also we would eat breakfast at a diner where we would actually eat the desserts for breakfast instead of the breakfast foods. And we also, there was another science type on the team besides myself, and we felt obligated to lead educational trips. And so we did geology roadside tours that everyone found to be highly entertaining. And so these are the things that really are the first thing you have to do to make tennis a team sport, which is you realize it's a lot of fun. But the second thing you have to do is you had 8 talented individuals who had to learn to play together as a team. And it meant that you had to make a few sacrifices. You had to practice in the same routine, which may not be the way you wanted to do. And then, more importantly, you had to be ready to play at any time, any place in the lineup with any doubles partner. Even if you weren't feeling well or you didn't feel like playing that opponent, you had to be ready to go, because that's what makes this a team. And when you do that, then you end up with people to share the victories with, people to help you when you pull through defeat, which is a lot better than when you're just playing for yourself. You don't necessarily have all that support. So that's one of the benefits of turning an individual sport like tennis into a team endeavor. And so we managed to do that, and one of the comments that came through in our email exchanges over the last couple weeks was that even though all of us have had success as individual players, something that we really think that really stands out among everything we've all done is really the success we had on this team, which was the fact that we went 17-3, beat all the big schools that took us on for the most part, and then we also had that nice finish in 1982 at Nationals. And just with the Nationals, one thing is, you get to that last day and you realize you're not going to win. And we knew that we were going to lose to our rival, University of Richmond, up the road, which wasn't making us too happy. And I think that we were really disappointed, felt like maybe we'd let the college down, we'd come so close and couldn't quite pull it out. And then even for the 3 seniors on the team, we realized this is our last go with the Tribe. So, we're like, well, we kind of messed up here. But as you look back, we realized we did do a lot, that our success and the success of the 3 teams that preceded this helped set the stage for what tennis is in the women's athletics here at the college. That now you've got a program where you've got outstanding facilities, you've got quality players that want to come here, be part of the tradition. There are 20-some CAA championships, 18 times at the NCAA. So we feel like even though we didn't play in the NCAA because of the way things are structured at the time, that we've really helped to kind of get things rolling in the right direction to do that. And we're happy to say that today we were out and got a chance to watch the women's team. Coach Meredith Lawton, and they won 5-2 today. We were really impressed with their play and also with the great enthusiasm they had for this as a team sport. So we wish them luck next week in the CAAs and know that they'll do well. But even though we've kind of put this in a new perspective, we can kind of live with this loss. Sort of. Doesn't mean we're totally over it. And today, Margie and Sherry and I, we did a little practice this morning, and we think that if we could get somebody to open the indoors later and we could round up all those old spiders that beat us, that we think we can take them down tonight. So we've got 6 people from our lineup here, so we got just enough, couple of husbands practice in case we need subs. But anyway, we have Sherry Dow, who's here on the end. She actually won the #1 flight of singles that year, so she was the top dog in that tournament. Was All-American as well, and actually last year was inducted into the Hall of Fame as an individual member. So she's a very accomplished player who's also still involved in tennis as a teaching professional. We have Lisa Milligan down on the opposite end. She was the first player to get a full scholarship here at William & Mary in women's tennis. She competed in nationals for 3 years, 80, 81, and 82. and then went on to have a career as a teaching pro at some of the really top facilities around, and is now back in her hometown of St. Louis at a club in that area. We have Marion Gangler, who comes from a long line of Gangler tennis players, and her sister's here tonight that actually competed against us in some different tournaments. And Marion was an All-American in both singles and doubles, and competed in the nationals in, I guess, 80 and 81. And taught tennis for a long time and is now living in Manhattan. And we have Margie Ray, who was two-time singles All-American, and also holds some records for doubles wins. She was my partner, so I had to throw that one in there. And Margie and I actually she was the first person I played as a kid when I played outside of my hometown. So we've known each other since we were like 9 or 10 years old. So it's kind of neat that we ended up at the same institution and also as doubles partners. Then we've got Ann Shoemaker right here, and Ann, Margie, and I were the 3 seniors on the team, and Ann was on the 1979 team that was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1995. She also competed in nationals in 80, 81, and 82. And she's got a couple records in the record books as well, as do most everyone else up here in doubles. And Ann was a psychology major, but ended up going into business and has been involved in was it insurance that you did? Yeah, as a systems analyst for about 18 years outside the Richmond area. And then it's a little awkward talking about yourself, but I'm the last one up here. I think, did I get everybody? Well, no, I've got it in here. Okay. We got one more. And so I was on the 79 team as well that's already in the Hall of Fame. And then Margie and I had some doubles wins, and I had some doubles wins. So that's kind of my better at doubles than singles. But I'm glad I was able to contribute to the success we had here. We had 2 people that couldn't be here tonight. Chris Wells, his daughter, participates in gymnastics at the University of Florida, and they're in the regional, so she's not able to be here. But we did eat cheese shop sandwiches at her request today, our traditional pre-match meal. And then our other member of our team, Karen Dudley, and her sister's up here. And this is a little bit tough. Karen was killed in an accident in her senior year. And she was such a great part of our team. She had such a great personality. We called her Muscles because she actually didn't have any. She was about as skinny as this stick up here. And so she was really a big part of us hitting 17-3 because she was such a competitor on the court. Marion reminded me of, I think, a time she got in somebody's face about calling bad lines and said to look her in the eye or something and call that out again. And so she made it through the match and won that. So tennis players can kind of get a little bit vicious every once in a while at a line call. So we're really happy that Karen's sister Ann could be here tonight, and also her parents were able to join us as well. Just to wrap up, I also want to make sure everyone knows about the celebration of women's athletics, which is taking place the same time as this event. The college has been such a long supporter of women. You know, in the 1920s, they were actually fielding teams when there were schools that didn't even have women enrolled. So we were lucky to come to a place where, with Title IX and the changing landscape, where we could actually be at a place that it was normal to have women participating in sports. And we hope that the college will continue the celebration because it's a great way to try to get the female athletes to come back from year to year as a nice event to remind people of what a great part of the college that this has been. And before we wrap up, we do need to point out Millie again. And yes, I did give her a lot of the gray hairs, but we won't go into those stories tonight. But she's done so much to make this a big program, and we wouldn't be here tonight if she hadn't put her emphasis in tennis. And with that, just to wrap up here, one tribe, one family, says it on the bracelet. We feel like all you in this room are our family, and we're happy to have get to meet some of you tonight, and thank you for putting us in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1982 women's tennis team.